When I think about relational failures, I think about why that is. And there's a myriad of reasons, but something that's coming to mind is there is the truth in that we show up as our best selves, right? We want people to meet our representative, right? And that's valid, right? On the first date, you're probably not going to be doing what you're going to be, doing or behaving 15 years from now. Granted, your relationship probably won't even last 15 years. But some might, right? Some might, especially if you're older from a different generation or you're someone who is so conscious and mindful in your social engagement with this thing called the media. But I was thinking about how for a lot of people, right? Many of us are public facing, whether you are a small content creator or a larger content creator, an influencer, someone who has a business, right? Entrepreneurship is booming and so forth. And many people who did adopt this more or opt in for this entrepreneurial endeavors, right? Like these people typically are, I would consider public facing, even if they don't have a platform. And so the reason why I think relationships are going to fail and are failing, on a steady decline is because the representative is easier to embody, right? It's not something that falls away after 6 months when it's a lifestyle for many people. If people are meeting online or people are engaging with one another online and then choosing to date and so forth, whoever you are public facing, and if you're doing this work or showing up in this field on a daily basis, it's really hard to opt out of that when there's so much social validation, right? And that goes back to my point too about many people being and signaling moralistic virtue, right? People come online and say the right thing and we say, wow, this person is so kind, this person is so honest, right? There's so much affirmation from being online with this persona, right? Your representative is heavily validated online, that when you're dating and in relationships, it's hard to kind of sustain that, right? And there's also not as much validation or affirmation when people know the real you, right? And so people start to, get uncomfortable with discomfort. And obviously we are all opting in for ease, right? There's a sense of normalization around ease, which is why more people are more lonely now than ever, because humans are complex and relationships are not, inherently or fundamentally easy, not because, it should be toxic or, anything that's like alarming, but just because humans are complex and there's a lot of diversification. Your communication style, it's, vice versa. But by and large, I'm just saying that the representative is with us longer now. So it makes the relationship a lot harder to sustain when you're constantly opting in for the representation of yourself. And that's what people are falling in love with. And obviously it's not sustainable.